Okay, so doing a little bit of cleanup here. Figured giving me a decent opportunity to go over the infinity table. This is the table off, as you can see. You do look real closely here, besides all the damage that I've done. And still some stuff to clean here. You can see the line right here, where the table is and where the table isn't. Okay, so now I've got the top sheet pulled away here. You can see the mirror underneath. And here's my painted LED strips. And here's where some of it is chipped off. And here's where some of the 3M backing has failed. I also haven't secured these, really. I just stuffed them in there for now. Secure that up, maybe glue it up. Power comes in this corner, I think. No, it's this opposite corner. So I can expose that and show you that. So here on the opposite corner, everything just runs in the back here, underneath. I can push that forward, fix this LED strip a bit, and the controller is connected back in this corner. So pretty easy to deal with. I just need to secure everything down now that the glue's starting to fail. So here you can see more of it exposed. Just paint a piece of wood in here. I'm going to throw on some double-sided sticky tape for the moment, but I know that it won't hold for too much longer. I'm going to have to find a better way to affix that, but it could just be the paint fighting me. We'll see. Okay, so sticky tape. I've stuck it up. So just going to trim this off, peel off the tape, stick it to this backing again, run this back down into the controller in the corner. We'll hook up some power and see light show. You know, that's stuck better than the rest of it, even on the first attempt. That might be a good solution. It's looking pretty stuck. We'll see how that holds. If it doesn't hold, I'll post back. But one of my goals in this, I bought these LED strips off Alibaba, or AliExpress, I guess. They're really cheap. It was one of their specials. It was like 70% off or something like that. So it was like $10 a strip, or seven something a strip. It was really cheap. So they came, and that's what prompted me to do the whole table. But at some point, I'd like to get something that's addressable, something I can do patterns and that kind of stuff with. This is just RGB. It works. I like it. Does what it's supposed to. But I'd like to upgrade at some point. So double-sided sticky tape instead of the 3M is probably a good idea. Otherwise, you're gonna run into issues where it's peeling away. So heads up. So this is the controller, the LED controller. I've used a power supply from an old IDE Nexstar enclosure. They're 5 volts and they work pretty good. Or sorry, 12 volts. I have to modify that one. Yes, I had to modify that one. So it's just one of these bricks. Does the trick. We threw out a whole lot of them at work because we don't use IDE drives anymore. Who does? This is the IDE, or why is IDE on the brain today? Anyways, this is the IR receiver. You want this to be somewhere visible on the inside of the table, or at least where you can get a remote to. You may want it underneath. That could suit you fine. You may want it inside the table, so you just point down into it. It should make it through. I added some double-sided sticky tape. I'm just going to fix this up on the inside through my hole. I've made a hole that's just roughly big enough for this to get through on the bottom. And I'll fill it at some point, and I was hoping to run the power through the legs, but we'll see. Once it's up and running, it gets used as a real table, so try not to do too much to it at once. A little bit of a mess over here. Moped army. Anyways, here's my hole, and for the moment I've just got it stuck there. Nothing on it right now. Add in some power, and voila, I have light. So through that little hole, and push this back so it's like that. One thing you really do need to measure is get your spacing, get it centered. That's probably the most critical part. Mine's not, and you'll see it at the end. It's too close to the top, and your spacing of each line that repeats will be a little bit off. So if you see mine in the photos, you can see how it's kind of 2 lines and 2 lines and 2 lines. The spacing's a little bit off, and that's why. So do some measurement, take your time, get it right first time. I'll get it right the second time when I get some new LED strips. But just another heads up. Let me grab the remote here. Let's hope a remote works. What did I do with those remotes? Oh no. Alright, well, I'll find a remote. We'll put the cover back on. You can kind of see here. It's in pairs of 2. It's not nice and even. So that's just the spacing. So if you fix that spacing, make sure you do your measurements. You'll be good. So let's put this together and get some colors going. Okay, so the cover's back on. Found our handy dandy remote. Doesn't work, because unfortunately I put it underneath the table, but that's fine for me. I like to sit down in a beanbag chair kind of about here, so works for me. Hey look, it's green. Now it's red. So let's see if we can turn up some brightness here. Maybe I can kill my LED lights. Giving a lot of glare. And maybe if I get lucky and have batteries in this remote, I can turn the TV off. So let's go through power cycle. There we go. Do fade through colors. So you can kind of see where my spacing is off. One thing, if you do your own tint, I'm not quite sure about a professional tint. I would assume maybe the same. It does take, I'd say, probably a week or maybe 2 to cure fully. As it cures fully, the deeper it'll get. The effect will get anyway. That's what I found. I would say for the first night, maybe night and a half, the lights look like they'd go down to my floor. Now they look like they drop down into my basement. So it's pretty simple. Do your research in glass. I will try and find my receipt, but I stuff them all in a box, and then I gotta search through a box to find it. So when I do find my dimensions, I will post them up on the project log just so you guys can use those same dimensions to cut the same size of glass. I didn't spend the extra money on the nice corners. I have a scar to prove it. So, and you just saw it there, but it works pretty good. We just learned something new. The 3M sticky tape is kind of crap after a bit. Who knows if it's really 3M or not. But double-sided sticky tape works to fix that up in pretty good amount of time. Instead of any color, I just want to get some nicer LEDs in there. But it does the trick. Total costs, I'd estimate $500 to $600. Everything's cheap except the glass. So try and find someone who can get you a really good deal on glass. And if you can find a decent sized mirror that works with the dimension on the inside, you can save yourself some cash there. I had the mirror custom done as well because I cut first and got glass later. Like I said in the instructions, get your glass first if you can. I mean, if you already have the table and everything, go. But it might be helpful to you to do some searching around. So there you go. That's the infinity table. Always doing little updates here and there. Work in progress, of course, but it's mostly done. Take care.